Welcome to Breaking Car News. Well, as if Toyota didn't have enough problems with their Tundra pickup trucks, now they are just randomly stalling out while you're driving down the road. And in Houston, Texas, one dealer refused to even reprogram the computer on this lady's 2023 Tundra that was stalling out on her. Now, she took it to the dealership, and they know that there is a TSB 0032-26 that is a factory software fix for dangerous lag and stalling engines. She takes it in, and they said, we can't fix it. We're not going to fix it because it's not doing it. It has to replicate for us. Now, Toyota already says this is a fix for it, right? And they're supposed to reprogram the computer. But here's what most people don't understand. You go to a Toyota dealership, right? Go to a Toyota dealership. Toyota does not own that Toyota dealership. They are private individuals. They're private individuals who have procured a Toyota dealership from Toyota. When they have to do this stuff and they don't get paid hardly anything, they don't want to do it. That's where the problem lies, right? You might wonder, well, why would anybody want to own a car dealership? Well, the answer is because they make a small fortune by charging people tons of money, often doing stuff that doesn't even need to be done, but that's the way that goes. These dealerships have overhead in the millions. Some are $3-5 million a year overhead. And what does that mean? That means they got to make $3 to $5 million profit just to break even. So, of course, they don't do anything for free. Now, they're supposed to. But I have seen this happen over and over again. So, what can you do about it yourself? Well, get these TSBs. Have it printed out. Put it on your phone, right? Save it in your files. And then you will have the actual factory number, so they can't complain, such as in this case, you would say, I have TSB 0032-26, which is hesitation from a rolling stop, and they say at the dealership that I went to before, hey, they have to verify it. They're going to charge me a checkout fee, right? Don't fall for this crap. Do not fall for it, right? Just don't fall for it. Now, you might wonder, what's the root problem? Well, the root problem is Toyota's got a lot of problems with these new Tundras, right? This is a modern Tundra with that stupid twin-turbo V6 and a 10-speed automatic transmission. And the problem is they want to get power, but they also want to get good gas mileage. It's a heavy vehicle. It's always going to get sort of crappy gas mileage anyway. But be that as it may, to get better gas mileage, they use what's called a torque lockup converter. The torque converter is physically locked up by the computer so that the engine and the transmission aren't going by fluid dynamics. The torque converter is actually connected to the engine mechanically instead of by transmission fluid. Well, they want these things to get better gas mileage, but they also want power. So the computer and the transmission are always talking to each other, and they're trying to make it so you have power, but the engine isn't going to stall out. Well, the software obviously has problems in it, and when you try to take off, it's giving it too much lag. It's either turning the torque converter off and it's got too much lag, or it's leaving it on, which is the worst thing, because then the vehicle can stall out and somebody can run into the back of you. Well, now realize these dealerships are out to make a profit. They don't like the fact that they either have to fix these things on recall for very little money or no money at all. They want to be filling their $3 to $5 million overhead first with expensive jobs that they're making a profit on, right? And of course, don't fall for this other big one you bring it in to get it reprogrammed. And when you're there, they say, well, you really, you need this, you need that. They're going to try to sell you the kitchen sink. That's why a lot of these dealerships will give you a lifetime free oil changes, right? Every time you bring it in for the free oil change, they try to sell you a bunch of stuff. So don't be fooled. Get the information. If you have this problem, take it in with the information. stick it on your cell phone, right? And then they won't be able to tell you, well, we have to charge you money to check this. Oh, we're not going to reprogram it. Toyota knows this is the fix they came up with. They should just do it and not complain. But hey, that's life at dealerships these days. Well, finally, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is trying to do something about self-driving vehicles causing problems. And in this case, they're saying it's unacceptable for these self-driving cars to interfere with first responders or law enforcement. Of course, they get confused, these self-driving cars, right? And one of their fail-safe things is if they're confused, they stop. So, I mean, they've stopped on the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge and caused massive traffic jams. They've stopped when there are 4th of July fireworks and everybody's trying to leave. They jammed in, and the fireworks thing, that's actually even funnier if you weren't in the crowd yourself, right? They ran out of power because these particular self-driving cars were electric cars, right? They got caught in a giant traffic jam, and then they had to tow dozens of these self-driving cars away because they're out of electricity, right? You can't jumpstart an electric car. Well, you could put power to it, and it would start, and as soon as you took that power off, it would stop. You can't jumpstart. You got to recharge the battery or take them somewhere to get them recharged, right? So, finally, the government is saying, hey, we have to do something about it. Jonathan Morrison, who works at the National Highway Traffic Safety Association, says, let me be clear, the inability to detect and appropriately respond to such situations represents a functional insufficiency. Emergency scenes are not rare or extreme edge cases. See, of course, the company's trying, well, that's an extreme case. We're working on it, right? These things, self-driving cars, are not ready for prime time. It's kind of obvious. Kind of like electrical cars themselves. They're not ready for prime time for everybody to drive in them. There's not enough power. There's not enough infrastructure to charge them up, right? And in the case of most people, there's not enough money to buy the things. They're so expensive, right? But as I say, this is not just robotaxis. It's also electric cars themselves. I mean, the other day, I was driving back from New Hampshire to Rhode Island after the 4th of July, watching these great fireworks in New Hampshire. And I said to my wife, well, this traffic jam isn't too bad going over the Boston Bridge, right? We were only like 15 minutes behind. It wasn't too bad. But I said to my wife, imagine if these were all electric cars. You know, some of the people wouldn't have charged them, and they would have stopped on the bridge. And there would have been gridlock, especially if there would have been, 3 lanes if they were all blocked by electric cars. What a mess that'd be. Because when we were going back, other were people coming down, and the people coming down, there was 1 lane blocked from an accident, just 1 lane. So there were still 2 of the 3 lanes running. That traffic jam, I measured it. That traffic jam went for 10 miles. It's how much traffic there is on that highway, right? So let's face the facts. They need more legislation. Personally, I agree with some of the cities that say you can't even use them anymore. For example, in Boston itself, fully autonomous, driverless ride-hailing is not permitted for the public as it stands today. Things might change. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't, right? For them, it's a dual-edged sword. They don't trust the self-driving cars, but all the people who drive cars for a living, taxi drivers, Ubers, Lyft, whatever, they don't want the cars that drive themselves taking their jobs away, so they're going to fight it. And guess what? Those people vote. The self-driving cars, at least as it stands today, do not have the ability to vote to say, yes, we should be allowed to drive. So let's hope the government starts slamming the lid on some of this stuff because it's creating problems. And yeah, these companies have invested billions of dollars. I say too bad. Look at GM. They invested billions in self-driving cars, then they gave up and just wrote it off as a tax write-off. Well, the new Dodge Hornet is officially now the old dead Dodge Hornet. Dodge isn't making them anymore, and there's only less than 90 of them left for sale. Now, I predicted this was going to be a massive failure, and it was, because I understand cars, right? Now, the modern Dodge Hornet had nothing to do with the old Dodge Hornet. It was kind of a muscle car, right? This was just a compact crossover that was just a rebadged Alfa Romeo Tonale, right? And interestingly enough, from what I can see of what Stellantis is saying, it looks like Stellantis is going to stop making the Alfa Romeo Tonales too. So basically, they took an Italian car, Alfa Romeo, probably one of the worst cars ever made. The company's been on the verge of bankruptcy so many times, and Fiat bought them, Stellantis runs it now. But the idea of taking one of their cars and then just calling it a Dodge Hornet, I thought it was foolish, and certainly it was. Now, it's so bad. It is so bad that they still got 2024 brand new Hornet GTs out there on some lots. There's less than 90 of them, but there's still a few left, right? And one of them had a $34,990 sticker. And they have lowered that sticker to $23,990. Now, that's one heck of a discount. But even at that, I'm telling you, don't buy one. It's an Alfa Romeo, it's a pile of junk. It's not going to hold up. So, they failed again miserably, Stellantis. Well, what are they thinking? Yeah, let's just get this Alfa Romeo. They got problems, right? And we'll call it a Hornet, and we'll sell it in the United States. Well, guess who got stung? Not us Americans. Hardly anybody bought them, but the Hornet ended up stinging Stellantis, and now they're getting rid of the Hornet's nest, and they won't make them anymore. Well, that's it for today, so remember, stay tuned. Scotty's live breaking car news. I'm following all this stuff so we can see the baloney they're trying to pull on us, right? Because they're trying to pull a lot of nonsense, and I'm here to help.